whether Erik Karlsson is part of it or not part of it, we know we're in a rebuild. Every day, every player on this roster is evaluated, including Erik Karlsson, including the other 22 guys on this roster. A lot of my counterparts know that we're in a rebuild. It's been discussed through them. Obviously, if they know we're in a rebuild, they're going to inquire about a lot of our players, including a generational player. It's our duty to always listen and make sure in this rebuild what we think and what will be the best process to make sure that we're building towards having a Stanley Cup contending team year after year.
When I acquired the team, it was obviously in bankruptcy, and just as a reminder, at the time, there was only one bidder, and I knew the bidder, and it was I knew of the bidder, and that was basically a corporate raider type that saw that the asset within the Senators was a $250 million tax loss. That's what he was actually gunning for. And there's tremendous value if you run other businesses that are profitable to merge the Ottawa-Senators, or what was left of it, into it. And his idea was actually to sell it for whatever price he could get the team, and it was going to a U.S. destination. There was no question about it. We've been talking rebuild since February and planning for it since February, and Pierre will tell you all about what we've done, what we're doing, and how we got there to where we are today and where we're going in the future.
And for us to be a cup contending team every year, we've got to be great. So that's the reason for the rebuild. We feel that if you look at, except for the exception of last year, if you looked the year after the lockout, if it wasn't for the Hamburglar one, we probably would have missed the playoffs that year again. We needed to win the last game of the year in Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, just to get in the playoffs. And our goal as an organization is to have a team that will contend for the cup year after year. Leadership, character, chemistry. Leadership is a key fundamental. Some people are born leaders, but when you have a good culture, you develop leaders. And that's what we're trying to do. When it comes to character, you look at just the recent draft pick of a guy like Brady Tkachuk. There might have been some more skilled players around, but we felt that character and getting the whole package was the more important things. Chemistry is important just for the simple fact that you need chemistry, you need the players to care for one another. We need to implement our younger kids, and we're going to see that in future slides, is how we're going to implement our younger prospects into our lineup as early as this year as part of the rebuild. Our style of play is going to change. We're going to be a more competitive defensive team, and that comes from the players competing more. How you can be a better defensive team is you compete in your own end harder than anyone else. In our rebuild, our goal is to be younger, faster, stronger. We want to roughly cut the age of where we started at last year to where we're going to be in our rebuild in 2021 to have a contending playoff team, to be roughly around the age of 25, 26.
So you said the locker room was broken, you admitted to that.
Yes.
And that you're going to change the culture of it, it's going to be stronger, better, more character. But have you pinpointed what went wrong and why so it doesn't happen again?
The players have taken all this, and I'll let them answer that.
You also said that since the lockout there's been a lot of inconsistency, up and down, up and down.
Yes.
Do you know why there's been that inconsistency?
I think we're always trying to patch things. We need a better base. We need a better foundation as a team. And that's why through a rebuild, we're going to build one of the strongest foundations and strongest base of players. And that's going to lead us into being a cup contending team for many years to come. What we want to see through this rebuild is progression starting as early as when they dropped the puck on October 4th. Progression from where we were last year to where we are now. We need to see progression. It's going to change in our style of play. It's going to change with the implementation of younger players. And that's where you're going to see progression of the rebuild. The rebuild started last year when we started making trades.